The Adventures of Anya, Chapter 17, Grand Marnier. Meanwhile, Puffy the wise squirrel had rallied his forest friends for a special task. Their mission? To gather bottles of the fancy orange-flavored liqueur called Grand Marnier. "Once those trolls chug it down and doze off," Puffy explained, "Anya, Barry, and Coco can sneak into the castle." Determined to succeed, Puffy's pals loaded up the wooden wagons with plenty of Grand Marnier bottles and headed towards the castle. When they arrived, an older squirrel stepped up and presented a bottle. "We've brought some homemade Grand Marnier to share with you," he said kindly. The guards, enticed by the sweet and fruity scent, took a sip. Instantly, a wave of sleepiness engulfed them, causing them to pass out completely. Number 17, Grand Marnier. So this is a liqueur, and you can sometimes find it in cakes or in ice creams. It tastes really good, and it will make you drunk, which is the point. That's the reason Puffy the squirrel brings it over, so that he can get the trolls all a little bit drunk so that the friends can get in. So there's a feeling of kind of lilting a little bit in this piece. I think that's why it's in 6/8. So it has this back and forth feel. And then once it goes, it kind of rolls. This left hand should really feel very steady and very, very rocking, with the downbeats of each time coming very methodically, you know, as if they never stop, as if nothing ever perturbs them, nothing ever changes them. And I like to hold on to the pinky a little bit. I like to hold on to that bottom note. Pedal's gonna hold it too, but I find that if I anchor my hand in here in this, give little circles with my hand as I'm playing it, it's just easier to make it steadier. Then the melody just rides on top. When it comes to these grace notes here, you could do 2-3-2. I like, for safety, I like an unusual fingering. I like 2-4-3. So 2-4-3 forces my hand around a little bit, and I find it's just a little bit more consistent. But play around and see what works for you. Maybe it's 2-3-2. There's a second theme that comes in this one. Some of the pieces are a little bit, have more themes in them than others. This one has a contrasting theme. This is the Friends theme, this melody. Which we know from before, right? She's recalling for us this idea. This is a little bit of nostalgia that she's thrown into the music. So I like, when we get to that part in measure 18, much, much longer pedals so that it has a little bit of that aura around it as well. If you start from measure 14, then longer pedals. So I'm really only changing when the harmony changes here and maybe a little bit on there. The rest, I'm actually just allowing it to be long and to sound long in this way. And of course, this piece ends quietly. You have to really work on not losing notes during this diminuendo. But I think if you anchor that pinky in the left hand, and if you do a little bit of a wrist motion on this grace note, so that's a little of a down, up, you'll be able to control it just beautifully. I hope you enjoy creating this incredible character. I really love the atmosphere of Grande Marnier.